In this video, I want to talk about exactly how I'm using AI and more specifically using Claude in order to grow my YouTube channel. Claude is one of those tools that have seen a huge surge in usage over the past couple months because they have been so proficient in shipping new tools, right? Especially for businesses. And really, I believe that every single creator should be using a tool like Claude, and really maximizing it in order to grow their YouTube channel. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Brian, and I run a YouTube scriptwriting software called Subscriber AI. And today I'm going to talk about Claude over here. So inside of Claude, the first big use case that I have for it is I use it for research, and specifically, video research, exactly what to talk about inside of my video, and looking at outliers from winning competitors. One of the use cases for Subscriber is a subscriber has a database of 40 million plus YouTube videos, and it's able to do a deep dive analysis into any channel that you give it. And we've built an MCP where we can connect it to Claude, and inside of Claude, we can talk directly to Subscriber and talk directly to YouTube data, which you previously wouldn't have access to. So what I'm going to do here inside Claude is like, hey, I want to use the Subscriber MCP to come up with video ideas for my channel at Magnates Media, right? So what it's going to do is that it's going to call the Subscriber MCP, right? Which is basically, it's using the Subscriber AI agent in order to get video ideas. So typically with Claude, you wouldn't be able to get these video ideas specifically, but now with this, right, you can see that it pulls up specific data on the channel. You can see it 1.8 million subscribers, 255 videos, 191 million views, right? Right? It shows all of its top videos over here. It shows the videos on YouTube. It gives you the specific link, and then it finds a channel ID, and then it starts generating ideas for that. So it's really, really great in terms of finding these video ideas, right? Intel's shocking downfall, the mysterious billionaires who created $100 billion fashion empire. So a lot of these ideas are very usable because a lot of it's data backed. Previously, if you were to do ideation inside of ChatGPT or inside of Claude, it would be very generic and none of it would be data backed. But basically with Claude, you can connect it to the Subscriber MCP now. And if you're a business where you do everything inside of Claude, this is going to be super duper useful for you over here. So inside Ozempic, boom, right? And then if you're like, hey, I like a specific video idea, right? Once again, everything is within Claude. So the second use case will be to do research for a specific topic, right? So in terms of doing research for a YouTube channel and doing it with AI, previously you would have to use Perplexity, but now deep research has gotten so good where, it can really do a lot of the thinking for you, right? If you're like, hey, right, I want to write this script, right? Do deep research on the story, right? And then what you will also want to prompt the AI is you want to tell it like, hey, what specific angle do you want it to take it into? So I want it to be deep storytelling and almost with the vibe of, this story has never been told before, and there should be many turns and revelations in the story that you put together, right? And just like that, it'll do deep research. We'll come back to it once it's done a little bit of this deep research, right? And a lot of people will ask me like, hey, why do you specifically use Claude, right? Claude is really great for anything writing wise, right? It is my choice of tool when I'm doing any writing. I do a lot of my YouTube script writing inside of Subscriber still, but I like to do the deep research inside of Claude just because all of the business functions are inside of Claude right now, and it can really do like very, very deep YouTube analysis for you, right? And especially with this MCP server, right, you don't have to specifically leave Claude for this. So we'll be right back once this is fully generated. And bang, you can see it generates a full research brief of like deep research. And then what you can do over here is I like to spend some time just manually editing this research brief and cutting any of it, and then I will take this research brief and I'll bring it into subscriber just because it has the subscriber MCP. And what's really cool is that it gives you these specific options over here that you can go ahead and turn into a full YouTube script just like that. So that's the number one / number two use case. In terms of what has also been really helpful is that inside of Claude, there's these things called Claude skills, right? And one of the skills, which is basically, it memorizing a certain prompt, one of the skills that I've created is a B-roll prompt generator, right? So you can take any script, you can use the B-roll generator skill, and then it will annotate each sentence so that the editor knows to go in and exactly edit it in a certain fashion, right? Or if you are generating videos with Nano Banana or with VO3 or with Sora or with any of these AI video generation models, what you can do is you can get Claude and prompt it in order to get out a prompt that you can then insert through an API into Nano Banana. So if this is a little bit advanced, right, let me show you exactly what I mean over here. So I'm going to paste the script over here, right? And then I'm going to tell it, hey, use the B-roll generator skill to annotate this script over here. So I just took a small excerpt from the script, and then I will use the B-roll prompt generator. I will put the skill in the link in the description so that you can have access to it real quick. But then you can see over here, it reads the B-roll annotation skill, and then it starts annotating line by line here. So this is a really simple use case, but it helps to solve a lot of the problems with, over here, it helps to solve a lot of the problems with going back and forth with editors, or editors not exactly knowing what to put as B-roll or what images to show, but this helps to solve a lot of it. So over here, B-roll scrolling through faceless YouTube channels in different niches, animation split screen showing a traditional YouTube studio setup on one side crossed out versus a laptop with AI tools on the other, image screenshot of payment receipt or invoice, blur sensitive details, right? So sound subtle tension beat to emphasize the price tag, YouTube Studio Analytics dashboard showing watch hours climbing towards 4,000, animation counter ticking up from 0 to 3,000 watch hours, right? This channel is being monetized, animation assembly line graphic, script icon, editing icon, thumbnail icon, upload icon. So this is trained on, the traditional B-roll that you would edit, or like animations that you edit on top of a script. And of course, you can continue to train this skill on the specific style of edit that you like. And eventually, Claude, I saw a post today that there are people who are completely editing videos of Claude, which is absolutely insane. But you will be able to do that inside of Claude, soon enough, which I think is a super duper cool use case in terms of growing and managing your YouTube channel. So this is exactly everything that I'm doing inside of Claude right now. If this is the type of content that you like, drop a comment below, and I'm going to do more breakdowns on exactly how I'm using AI in order to automate all of these channels that I'm running. So hopefully this helps, and I'll see you in the next one.